Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I see we are building up with our list of participants, just picking up names of colleagues who are joining us. Welcome to Amy Govender, Andrew, Deborah, Donovan, Alma. I'm also picking up India, Itumeleng. Welcome to you, Jason Smith, Jordash Juliet, Lebo Khang, and Lerato. Yeah, it's picking up in alphabetical order. We have the M's coming up now. Matemba, Marilyn, Masape, Neil, Neshika, Ntambeni, Salome, Seshli, Slindo Kushle, Salis Tato. We also have Shego Fatso, Vincent, and Vuyokazi at this point. So yes, welcome everybody. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clearly as well as see me in the screen. We do have a chat forum, so you are welcome to post your questions into the chat forum. And as my colleague Norenta has mentioned already in the chat forum, that we will be picking up questions at the end of the presentation. So yes, please do type in any questions, any issues of clarity that you should require. Feel free to type into the chat forum. All right, so going to now take you through the presentation. You should be able to view the first screen in front of you now that says start your career with an undergrad qualification. I am Dr. Syed Rehman, and I will be taking you through this particular session. All right, going to now call up our first slide. All right, here we go. For this particular kickoff session, if you like, we're looking at exactly how it is that an undergraduate qualification can help you achieve your career goals. And in essence, we are beginning with the end in mind, right? So we're going to be leaning toward this idea or this theory of lifelong learning, and we're going to be stressing the importance of lifelong learning. I have narrowed it down first up into 5 key elements, and we will be picking up those key elements or advantages now. First and foremost, we want to allude to a huge network, all right? We've already now been introduced to each other, so that's one more person that you know now, Syed Rehman, okay? And likewise, you will be meeting not just your fellow students, but also the faculty involved in your program. So thereby building on that network. So it's your fellow students, faculty, as well as staff who are engaged with the organization, all right? So you will be broadening those horizons, if you like, in terms of building that network, be it a professional or even a social network. Secondly, we have self-discipline, and this is one of the huge advantages that comes with an undergrad qualification. As it stands, obviously, in terms of COVID, we are being pulled in many different directions. We have various responsibilities and commitments, and sometimes we can feel, as the term goes, dear makar, neither here nor there. So being pulled in many directions, but what studying will do for you is to give you that self-discipline. And with this self-discipline, you will also find self-motivation. So you will be not only disciplined, but also motivated. And you will also obtain that structure that seems to be missing in so many of our lives, all right? So it gives you discipline, it gives you motivation, and obviously structure in terms of where you are headed, in terms of your various goals, aspirations, and ambitions. The third item is a variety of skills. Now, here we want to unpack skills firstly in terms of the theoretical skills. So the theoretical essence of the various programs, undergraduate qualifications, that is, so you will obtain the necessary theoretical knowledge by going through the various theories and body of knowledge within that particular discipline, and also a range of skills such as your communication skills, your management skills, and even your networking skills as well. We can tie that in here as well. So communication, networking, all of those skills, even some of those soft skills that we'll be looking at, things like emotional intelligence and how they can be enhanced by obtaining your undergrad qualification. Second to last, colleagues, we have a holistic education. And what we are speaking about here has been mentioned already, beginning with the end in mind. So by holistic, it'll be various disciplines, various terminologies that you will be introduced to and that you will learn. So you'll find that obtaining an undergrad qualification allows you to then speak a little differently, okay? So broadening those horizons, having a well-rounded, we call it a well-rounded or holistic education, bringing to the fore various disciplines, some of which have been mentioned already, even the analytical functions that you will be performing. This will then enhance that very holistic nature of the education that you will be obtaining in terms of whichever program you choose. Finally, here we're saving the best for last. I suppose it is most definitely a career advantage. It is what sets you apart from everybody else in that job market, right? So yes, it is a piece of paper, that qualification, but it is, if you like, the license to actually dream, the license to make yourself competitive, giving you that advantage over others in the market, saying that you have obtained this particular qualification. And once again, it's something that nobody will ever take away from you. And as you'll see, as we move through our presentation, we are looking at seeking knowledge from the cradle unto the grave. So it is not a case of, all right, I'm going to just study for a particular time and that will be the end of that. No, it is lifelong learning that we are speaking about. So please keep in mind that, colleagues, there is really no end to learning, okay? Remember that there is no end to learning. And the earlier you start in terms of obtaining those various qualifications, the better it will be for you. All right, so once again, before we move on, if you have missed anything, you need anything repeated, please feel free to type into the chat forum or even the Q&A section. I'll be looking at both a little later on. All right, with that, let's now move on to our next slide. All right, still focusing on how it is that you are going to choose or select which particular qualification you are going to be registering for. And here again, I've narrowed it down into a 5-step process. First and foremost, we're beginning with the plane in the sky, if you like, getting an overall picture, looking at determining exactly under which general category your career falls. So for example, if you are looking at human resource management, or you're looking at business management at large, whether you're looking at accounting, supply chain, operations management. Okay, so we're starting with that holistic view, getting an overall picture, and then item number 2, step number 2, then narrowing it down to a job or a category, otherwise known as a job title. So once you have that broad aspect, you will then narrow it down to that particular category or that particular title that you are looking for. For example, if we're looking at human resources, it would be a human resource manager. If you were looking at operations, it could be an operations manager. If you're looking at accounting entry level, there you're looking at bookkeepers, accounting clerks, etc. All right, and then we move on to step number 3, and this is now where we are going to begin to conduct a research by way of locating information on those recommended qualifications. And I will be taking you through those various qualifications that we offer at Regent Business School as well. So depending on your outcome of steps numbers 1 and 2, you will then narrow it down to the particular information that you would require. There you will look at items such as the Regent Business School website, speaking to our staff, our faculty, or students as well, particularly. All right, so word of mouth, yeah, a lot of referrals from students, people who are currently studying at Regent, who will be able to also offer valuable input. Second to last, we have learning more about that particular qualification. All right, so looking at the various jobs that are related to that particular qualification, and also the qualification per se, the duration of the qualification, the type of subjects or modules that are included within that qualification, and also very important are the entry requirements. So if you have chosen a particular qualification, you must understand what the entry requirements are. And if you don't already know, please remember that all qualifications appear on the SAQA, South African Qualifications Authority framework, which is, of course, a 10-level framework, starting with, of course, your certificates at level 5, moving on to your diplomas at level 6, your degrees or advanced diplomas at level 7s, NQF levels 8 would be your postgraduate honors. Finally, then you have, of course, your master's at level 9 and your PhD doctorates at level 10. So it is very important, colleagues, that whenever you look at a program or a qualification, to ask yourself, at what level is this qualification on the NQF? All right, and that is, of course, step number 4, which is to learn more about the qualification itself. And also I've included as the final item, step 5, to look at advertisements. Now, it's not just advertisements per se, but also looking at the media, seeing what the offers are, where the demand is, and of course, what is the likely supply as well to go together with that demand, and that will tell you all that you would need to know about that particular qualification. All right, let's move on from that point now. Okay, colleagues, here we're looking at reasons why pursuing an undergraduate qualification would advance your career at any level. First and foremost, we've alluded to it already, that is the knowledge that you will gain. All right, by knowledge, we are including here not just the technical knowledge, but also the practical knowledge as well. That's included as outcomes within all of our programs. So you will be going through the various theories, then actually developing models that would use these theories in practice. Okay, so it is not just the theoretical side, but also the practical side that you will be looking at. We enhance your soft skills. I mentioned the example of emotional intelligence, items such as communication, even management, leadership, organizing, controlling, and the likes will be coming to the fore. So that's gaining knowledge first, and then, of course, using that knowledge to then enhance your soft skills. Demonstrating a strong work ethic. This is another obvious advantage that will come through with that qualification, where your skills are, once those skills are developed, this will then enhance your professional ethics when it comes to your work. Boosting your confidence for success. You'll find that as you proceed with your qualifications and obtaining your qualifications, you will then tend to stand a little bit taller and bring about that confidence that then allows you to be the best possible you that you can be. All right, we then have, you've seen already, growing your social network, and this is in terms of the various alumni, students, and the faculty, even industry experts that you will be exposed to in order to grow that particular social and, no doubt, professional network. Finally, we have to grow your career through education. It is obvious that these qualifications would set you apart from everybody else, your competitors that is in the job market, and that is the fact that you have these qualifications to your name. All right, moving on from that point, looking now particularly at the various programs that we have on offer. But before we begin with the higher certificates, perhaps I'll just have a look to see if there are any questions or comments coming through at this stage in terms of what we've looked at thus far. So let's just stop for a few seconds to see if there are any questions or comments coming through. So if you do have any questions at this point, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to type into the chat forum or the Q&A section, and I will be picking up those questions now. Thank you. Okay, I see a question coming through from Elma on the Q&A section. Thank you, Elma, for your question. Elma's question is with regards to the master's qualification. That is the duration, firstly, and the costing. Elma, for your master's, we have, for example, the MBA, Master of Business Administration. We also have a master's in healthcare. So it's an MBA, that's your professional MBA, Master of Business Administration, and also MBA in healthcare management. Your duration is approximately 2.5 years that you are looking at. So it's about 2 to 2.5 years, including of course, your 2 years for your coursework, and then of course about the next few months for your research, that is your dissertation. For your fee structures, please, I implore you to have a look at the Regent website, where you will find the various programs, and you will also be able to obtain those answers with regards to the particular duration as well as the fee structure for those programs. All right, having a look to see now if there are any questions coming through on the chat forum. I don't see any questions at this point. All right, thank you for that question, Elma. Hopefully that answers your question there. Right, just a comment coming through from Quanele. Quanele says, all is crystal clear so far, Doctor. What a great presenter you are. Thank you, Quanele, for that. Yes, it really is heartfelt and much appreciated when you appreciate the presenter. Thank you for that. All right, moving on from that point, we can now pick up on our examples of the various programs, and we're going to begin with our higher certificate programs. And as you can see, okay, here we go. We were discussing higher certificates, and once again mentioning that it will bring through those introductory knowledge and critical thinking skills, practical techniques as well that are necessary to pursue a job in your chosen field of study. Once you have obtained a higher certificate, you can then of course apply to further your studies in a related qualification or pursue an entry-level position. The primary focus of your higher certificate is, of course, a skills-based qualification that focuses on providing an applicant, that is yourself, with very specific abilities in a particular field. I have quoted the examples of higher certificates that we have on offer at Regent Business School, and these would range from a higher certificate in supply chain, healthcare, business management, accounting, entrepreneurship, estate agents, management of state agents, that is also higher certificate in Islamic finance and banking. We also have the higher certificate in marketing management. And then the last two higher certificates we have are the higher certificate in retail management, as well as the higher certificate in human resource management, otherwise known as HR. The duration of the higher certificate is 1 year, so it is a 1-year program split into 2 semesters. So semester 1 would include 3 subjects or 3 modules, as we call them. And of course, semester 2 will include another 3 modules, giving you a total of 6 modules. In terms of assessments, I can tell you presently students complete an assignment and write 1 examination. That is our online examinations, the summative. So it's a formative being your assignment, as well as a summative being your examinations, each carrying with it a particular weighting that would give you your year mark for the higher certificates. All right, so hopefully you have that. We can now move on to our diplomas. Okay, so here we have our diplomas on offer, and here the focus is on a specific field of study with an emphasis here being on the more practical approach to learning. This, of course, means that you get a career-oriented educational training with hands-on experience, which will prepare you to enter a highly specialized field. The latter, of course, providing you with an added advantage when entering the job market. Diplomas provide practical, real-world skills that companies need, and businesses will readily accept skilled applicants with these particular qualifications. Primary focus here to provide detailed and specific knowledge together with practical skills and experience in the workplace, which will of course enable you to successfully apply for and be a success in that particular career or field. Our diplomas, two of them to speak of, the diploma in financial management and also the diploma in public relations management. The duration for your diplomas are 3 years. Right, so hopefully you have that. So it's 3-year diplomas that we are looking at. And in terms of the NQF levels that we mentioned, remember that these diplomas are of course at NQF level 6. All right, so moving on, we did level 5, which is your certificate. We've now looked at level 6, which is the diplomas. Let's now move on to level 7, which is the advanced diploma. All right, so here at Regent Business School, we have an advanced diploma in financial management. It is a 1-year program that provides further knowledge of the principles and practice of financial management. This particular program is directed at persons who aspire to increase their knowledge, skills, and competencies in the procurement, allocation, and control of the financial resources of an organization. Finally, the advanced diploma in financial management will most certainly improve the skills of learners in the labor market by enabling them to apply integrated knowledge and advanced conceptual thinking skills to solve problems in the financial management of organizations. Once again, the advanced diploma is, of course, at NQF level 7. All right, so moving on now to level 8, and that is the bachelor's. Let's now move on to our bachelor's qualifications. All right, here we go. You should be able to see it right now, and that is the degrees NQF level 7, the bachelor's qualifications as they are known. Here we have bachelor's degrees providing a more theory-based general education consisting of subjects from various fields. These would, of course, enable you to tailor your studies according to your interests and career plans. Also, the degree qualification enables graduates to demonstrate the knowledge and skills needed to enter the workforce. Also, remember that a bachelor's degree helps you to develop critical thinking and analyzing skills, those skills that we mentioned at the very outset, whilst at the same time providing you with a well-rounded overview of a subject, that holistic education that we are speaking about, remember? Also, a degree qualification, the emphasis is placed on an academic approach to a specified field of study or profession with practical applications. And for the choices of those degree qualifications at Regent, we have the BCom General. We also have the Bachelor of Commerce Accounting, BCom HRM, Bachelor of Commerce in Supply Chain Management, BCom Law, as well as Bachelor of Administration. And as I'm sure you already know, that the degree qualifications are 3 years in duration. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at the end of our presentation, so you don't have to worry about it being death by PowerPoint, all right? So just a few concluding thoughts before we pick up our questions coming through. Firstly, remember the benefits of lifelong learning, the fact that it nurtures curious minds, right? So all of those questions that you have will be answered in terms of your undergrad qualification. builds new skills, improves those that you already have. All right, so we want to bring to the fore that very skill set that you have. Remember, everybody has their own skill set. So as I mentioned, we want you to be the best you that you can be, and that undergrad qualification will ensure that that happens. Opens minds and increases wisdom. As I mentioned, you'll tend to talk a little differently as you proceed through your studies. Okay, improves memory and increases self-confidence. Remember, I said walking taller, right? Okay, so at Regent Business School, we are committed to this idea of lifelong learning. And to finish with a very interesting quote from the great Michelangelo at age 87, and this is what he said: "I'm still learning." All right, so please remember that. Okay, thank you for your attention thus far, ladies and gentlemen. Time now to pick up any questions that you have. So please feel free to type into the Q&A section as well as the chat forum. If you need me to go back to any of the slides, if you've missed anything, I'll be happy to do that as well. All right, so let's pick up your questions now. Thank you. Okay, questions coming through. Right, I see questions coming through with regards to online classes. And yes, Narantia has confirmed as well that obviously due to COVID and in terms of social distancing regulations, we now conduct classes online. In fact, you are now exposed to one of those very classes, all right? So as you are attending this particular webinar, webinars are also done for all of our modules. So yes, it is online classes that we are running at the moment. Right, so thank you for that question. Let's pick up our next one. Right, that was from Matemba Nomkonde. Thank you for that question, Matemba. Right, question also coming through from Matemba with regards to registration. Will registration be open end March, as I'm currently completing another qualification in another institution and I'm finishing in March? Yes, what I suggest you do is, as soon as you have the proof of completion of that particular qualification, please don't hesitate to contact us immediately, and please feel free to contact one of our consultants now to let them know that you will be providing that proof of completion. So it doesn't hurt to get the process started already. Get all of your documentations together, start with that, building that relationship with our consultants, and then you'll be liaising with that particular person once you have completed your qualifications. Thank you for that. Okay, question coming through from Kwanele Ngwenya. Thank you for your question. And the question is, I'm not sure if I heard you clear, doctor. You said we'll write online exams at Regent. Yes, I did, because once again, in terms of COVID and social distancing regulations, we are presently conducting online examinations. This obviously began last year during our midterm examinations. So that was 2020 June. We did continue with that online examinations through to our main exam November and December 2020. And most recently, we ran exams in January 2021 as well. And yes, these were online examinations. So thank you for confirming that. Okay, Narendra also has confirmed that yes, registrations will be open in March. And remember that well, the education system as it is in this particular country used to obviously begin very early in January. In terms of what happened with regards to COVID, all of those timelines have now been pushed forward, if you like. So yes, that is why we most certainly will be registering in March as well. Right, a few thank yous coming through from Neil, also Matemba. No problem, you're most welcome. Right. Thank you to Brandon for posting through the link that is apply now via apply.regent.ac.za. Right. Question from Elijah Magama. When do we start the online lessons for BCom students? Remember that these notifications, once you are registered, all of those notifications will be sent to you in terms of your timetable, be that exam dates, assignment dates, even the links for the webinars as you have received this particular one. So too, you will be receiving other notifications as well. So thank you for that. Right, so that's from our chat forum. I don't see any further questions on the chat section. Let's hope to see you all. Yeah, comment coming through from Brandon. Hope to see you all on a RBS program. Yes, Brandon, I can confirm that they will be registering. It's just a matter of choosing which particular program that they are registering for. In fact, perhaps we shouldn't let them leave today unless they register already. Okay. Yeah, so we won't let them leave the session unless they register. All right, just checking to see if there are any questions coming through on the Q&A section. Okay, I see we do have questions coming through on our Q&A. Let's pick those up now. Right, I see Matemba's question with regards to registration. That has been answered already. Right, question coming through from Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. It shows, please, I will want to know how new students can be assisted since no classroom lectures. I think we have answered that in terms of our online lectures already. For WhatsApp groups, yes, students do create groups. That's that networking, professional and social networking that we alluded to. So I requested over, but not available. All right, yeah, no, you can go ahead. Remember that these groups are created by students themselves, where they help each other along in terms of those studies. So thank you for that. Right, question from Anonymous. How do we access the My Regent portal? Please, if you are having trouble accessing the portal, I suggest you contact our student support department and they will talk you through exactly how it is that you log in terms of your user ID and password. This should have been made available to you upon registration. But if you are having difficulty getting onto the portal, please do contact our support department and they will hold not one but both your hands through it. Okay, so thank you for that. Right, question from Seshli Mabuza. Thank you, Seshli, for your question. What is more effective, experience, knowledge, or knowledge from books, or is it the same thing? Yeah, excellent question that, Seshli, and it's a famous question, but remember that I would say all of the above. Both are important, and in fact, we've looked at that already. In terms of your qualifications, you will be exposed to the theoretical knowledge as well as the practical side of that application. So yes, they both are important. It's important to know the theory, but also important to know how the theory is applied in the work situation. So thank you for that. Right, question from Vuyo. If I do one of the higher certificate course after I finish, it will be able to be credited for a bachelor's course? Yes, another excellent question. For example, if you complete the higher certificate in business management, you will then obtain 2 credits onto your BCom, particularly business communication as well as business management. So yes, in terms of articulation is what we know it to be. So in terms of articulation, students moving from certificate onto bachelor's, on then to honors, postgrad, and even MBA. So we do have students that would start off at a certificate level, then move on to bachelor's, postgrad honors, and even masters, and yeah, finally doctoral qualifications as well. All right, so thank you for that question. Let's pick up another one. I see a couple more on our Q&A section. All right, a question coming through from Anonymous. Anonymous says, please tell us about the eyelid lab and how that works. Yes, sure. Remember that the eyelid lab these labs have been set up in the major centers or the major provinces across South Africa, where we have those skills that we spoke about. Remember, we spoke about a well-rounded education that you will obtain. So lab looking at items such as 3D, 4D printing, even laser cutting, right? So basically in an eyelid lab, I can tell you, you are only limited by your imagination. So any product that you can think of, you can actually obtain the assistance to help you produce that product, market that product, and even be an entrepreneur. Okay, so that's what we are focusing on in terms of the labs. We want you to be entrepreneurial in your thinking. So thereby we used these labs to then fuse that theoretical knowledge as well as that application and skills that we spoke about. So thank you for that. Right, also question from Anonymous, do I apply with my final results or my school leaving certificate if I was in matric in 2020? Yes, please provide all of those certificates, especially your matric certificate, the final result, that is, with all of those documentation. So yes, we require your matric certificate. Remember that we'll be able to match your particular pass. For example, if you have a certificate or a diploma pass with the particular qualification, or if you have a degree pass in matric, we will then be able to say that this student has a degree pass, therefore the student can do the bachelor's qualification. So yes, it is vital that you provide us with that information. So thank you for that. All right, let's have a look to see now if there are any further questions on our chat forum. Okay, I do see further questions coming through on our chat section. Let's pick that up now. Okay, the very interesting quote, my very learned colleague Brandon Governor is reminding us about, and yes, worth mentioning, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. And that was from Nelson Mandela. Thank you for that. Question coming through with regards to the WhatsApp group. We've answered that already. Okay, I see Asadullah Muhammad providing his details. Thank you for that confirmation. Okay, coming through from Shlelize Mshlongo. It's Shlelizwe Mshlongo. Thank you for your question. I have a honors degree in education. Do I qualify for an MBA? Yes, most definitely you do. So that is the articulation, the logical articulation that I was speaking about, going from honors into masters, that is MBA. So yes, most definitely an honors degree gets you into an MBA qualification. In fact, that is the next logical step for you. So thank you for that. Okay, that seems to be the last of our questions on the chat forum. Hopping back onto our Q&A section now. Okay, question from Seshli Mabuza. Thank you, Seshli, for your question. Is there a difference between business management and business administration? Yes, excellent question. Seshli, you'll find that you'll find this answer in your qualification itself, but I can just allude to it since you are asking the question now. Remember that with your administration, you are focusing more on the technical aspects of the job. All right, so it is the technical skills required, be that in the form of communication or even analytical skills. So the administrative part is the bottom line, if you like. So that's the technical aspects. In terms of management, you're looking at a much broader and more holistic view. Items such as planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So this is business management. So business administration, this focuses more on the technical aspects, while business management would focus more on your controlling and organizing overall nature of that particular job. So thank you for that. All right, question coming through from Gloria Secolo. Is it Secololo? Gloria Secololo, thank you for your question. First name Masepe. All right. Question is, do we have to buy our own study material? And if yes, which bookshop is recommended? Right. So first and foremost, Gloria, with regards to study material, you are provided with study guides as well as online learning material in terms of your portal, various questions, for your summative preparation, that is your assignments, assignment guidelines, exemplar questions with solutions, and of course your study guides are examples of the various material that would be provided to you, particularly with regards to any textbooks. No, we do not advise students to go out and buy textbooks for a number of reasons, but I'll tell you the most important reason is that textbooks are expensive. All right, so no, we don't want you to go out and buy textbooks. We do provide you with the material that you will need. In terms of referencing textbooks, yes, we have reference libraries available, and we also have bookshops in case you feel that you must have a particular book. You're working on the field, you have to have the book on your desk all the time. So in that case, and if you insist on having the book, then yes, bookshops are available where you can purchase those books. But once again, I must recommend that you don't go out and buy the books. We live in an information age, so we don't make it prescribed for you or compulsory for you to buy the books. Thank you for that. Okay, reminder from Brandon again, and a quotation from Benjamin Franklin this time: investment in knowledge pays the best interest. So yes, it's the best and most important investment that you will make. In fact, I think it's the greatest paradox asking, should I study? Is there an advantage to studying? For me, there really is no question, ladies and gentlemen. You should have realized this already, that yes, most definitely, seek knowledge from the cradle unto the grave. You have to study at whichever social background you are from, social background, economic background, even cultural background. It is vital that you study in order to attain the best possible you that you can be. All right. All right. Waiting for any further questions. Right, thank you coming through from Norenta. A fantastic session. Thank you, Dr. Rehman. Thank you, Norenta. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, colleagues, for joining this session. Yes, I was hoping that it would be an interactive session. So I must thank you immensely for all the questions that you have put through. Thank you for everything that I have learned from you as well, and hope to see you in the near future. Remember that we will be meeting, as I do lecture on the various programs that you have seen. So I hope to see you in our lectures very soon. Please remember, don't leave it any later than you have already. Please register as soon as possible, ASAP, right? So that's the golden rule, to begin as early as possible. Right, once again, to get your applications, you can see the chat forum message from Brandon coming through. Remember to get your applications in via apply.regent.ac.za. Okay, I still see two further questions coming through on the Q&A section from Huawei P4 Lite. How far in advance do we get notification for written assessment. You will know as soon as you register, these will be made available to you. As I mentioned, those particular dates will be made available to you in terms of your assignment or even your exam dates, also the dates with the reference to your webinars, when those sessions will be, so that you can plan in that regard. All right, so thank you for that question. Right, question this time from Tinyiko Nkuna. Thank you for your question. I have a national diploma in management accounting. I am interested in advanced diploma in financial management with 10 years experience. Can I get credit? Tinyiko, on the face of it, I can tell you that often it happens that when you move from one level onto another level, so if you have a level 6, you're now moving on to a level 7, it is unlikely, I say unlikely but not impossible, so I must stress unlikely that you would get credits from a level 6 to a level 7. But having said that, please apply as soon as possible and give us your academic transcript from the institution showing us which modules or subjects you have passed, and then we will match that against that particular qualification and be able to see exactly and for sure whether you will be able to obtain credits or not. All right, so thank you for that. Okay, Adelis Munye says, good evening, sir. Good evening to you, Adelis. If you have a question, please do type it into the chat forum. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I see we are approaching our rising time very shortly. So if you do have any further questions, please do type them into the chat or the Q&A section now. Thank you. Okay, Lynette Peterson says, thank you. You're most welcome, Lynette. Okay, colleagues, still holding on for any questions. Once again, if you do have any questions, please do type into the chat forum or the Q&A section. Thank you. Okay, question from Adelis Munye. Is it possible to register for project management while I'm doing my final year? Reason why I need for work. All right, I think what you mean is you want to register for a qualification. Remember, if the qualification that you are presently engaged with is a requirement for the qualification you wish to register, then obviously we need the final result of your qualification so that you'll be able to register for the next qualification. So please ensure that you obtain that final result and then provide that with your application so that we can process that application. Thank you for that. Right, message from Kwanele Ngwenya. Thank you, Dr. Rehman. This was a nice welcome to RBS. Looking forward to finishing my ADIFM on time. Excellent. Thank you very much. You're most welcome. Okay, thank you, Brandon, for the link for RBS First TV commercial. I've also typed in a message to say thank you very much all and look forward to meeting you at Regent Business School. Okay, colleagues, that brings us to the end of our program. Norentha, would you like to take over in terms of any further questions with regards to registrations?
Hi, everyone. Yes, so if you have any further questions, please visit regent.ac.za, and there's a consultant waiting to chat with you. Look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Dr. Rehman.
My pleasure.
And that was fantastic. So yeah, that was great. Look forward to the next few webinar series, and thank you.
Yes, thank you all, and do take care.